Alright, we continue on the adventure of ripping apart Mass Effect 3 through the eyes of Diaz Station. Yes, Zaid Magenta is now Diaz Station. So I finally remembered. I'm trying to make myself remember it. Let's see. We left Mars. We captured Edie's new robotic body that was Eva Kore. Oh, and by the way, he doesn't bring this up, but I personally really do wish it was possible to order Edie to replace the skin and hair the body once had. That way she looks like Eva Cora again. That way Joker's nonsensical instant attraction to her finally makes sense. I mean, the way he immediately starts drooling over a silver metal body, that was kind of cringe and felt very far-fetched. And plus, yeah, his dialogue, I wanted to smack him. But unfortunately, that mod, last I checked, is either outdated or perhaps it's part of a bigger mod package. I need to investigate further to see if I can get it. All right. Anyway, this is part 3 of the side quests and the dreams part. Moving on. Oh, and please hit the like and subscribe button, please. Thank you.
You talk with Hackett about coming to the Citadel, and there's a few more conversations in between. One of which involving talking about how we can't beat the Reapers conventionally, which to me sounds like an excuse to force that Crucible bullshit on us. What do you mean we can't fight the Reapers conventionally?
Yeah, unfortunately, the game has a habit of restating the Crucible. It seems to it's like a yo-yo. It goes back and forth between the Crucible, retake Earth, the Crucible, retake Earth, both of which I'm not interested in.
Didn't we invent those Thanix cannons? Or any of those heavy weapons? One in particular literally being a nuke gun? The same one we used to destroy a Reaper in the previous game?
Well, to be fair, that Reaper was just the larva form, but yeah, you do raise a good point. It's absolute nonsense that we're not allowed to carry around our heavy weapon anymore. Not on our backs anyway. We can carry one for a short distance until it runs out of ammo, but then we can't take it back on the ship. I can think of multiple times that heavy weapon could have been of use, including the destruction of that gunship that accompanies the Space Ninja during the infamous Temple fight, and the 2 times that we encountered a Reaper destroyer prior to Earth. You know, Rannoch and on Tuchanka. Both times we could easily have killed it with, either a cane or better yet a Black Star, because the Black Star is just as powerful as the cane, and the projectile fire goes much faster, less likely to miss. Shoot it right in the eye, and boom, it should be dead. If the first one doesn't kill it, the second one will. But no. We gotta ring a doorbell and summon the giant worm, or call an airstrike. Oh man, oh howdy. Oh yeah, and the Thanix cannons, like I said in the last video, the Codex makes it clear that Thanix cannons are being strapped to every dreadnought, and yet we never see them in the third game. A huge disconnect between the third game and the second game. Thanks, most likely, to the new writers. Anyway, sorry about the tangent there.
The Reaper in the previous game? Why do we even need the Crucible at all? I'm pretty sure that the combined forces of the galaxy and all the super weapons they have, including ones that were salvaged from Sovereign, would be enough firepower. Vigil said so himself. And a funny thing about that, there's an outcome that you get during the big fleet battle at the end of the game with a high enough EMS count. It shows us fighting the Reapers conventionally, and the good guys end up winning. They're blowing up dozens of Reapers with minimal losses with enough firepower to destroy a single one in a couple shots.
Well, I only saw one getting one of its legs blown apart, and then it proceeds to still be active enough to destroy another ship. But yeah, you do raise a good point. It's like, this is another reason why it's absolute nonsense for the Reapers to resort to divide and conquer tactics by indoctrinating Cerberus. Can you imagine if Cerberus was also in on this fight with us against the Reapers? How much more powerful we would have been? It would have been so glorious to defeat them conventionally. That's what I was looking forward to.
The game says we can't fight them conventionally, and yet we fight them conventionally anyway, and we end up kicking their ass. So if we can clearly defeat the Reapers without this ass-pull of a super weapon, why is the story forcing us to rely on it?
I don't know. I haven't played the Legendary Edition yet. I've only played, but the menu in the original 2012 game, if we are below 75% in galactic readiness, it says we're being defeated and pushed back steadily by the Reapers. But if you play the multiplayer and push it up to 75% and past that, it says that the allies, the combined allies, are winning against the Reapers. We're pushing them back. We're winning victory in key locations. And unfortunately, we never see that. So that's kind of sad. And I really do wish the multiplayer was a separate game instead of taking up a critical amount of space of the third game. No pun intended. And yeah, I wish it was a separate game and constantly updated so it would have up-to-date graphics, and we would not be sorely lacking it with the Legendary Edition. Shame on you, BioWare. Shame on you.
Forcing us to rely on it. This is just forcing us to play the game linear instead of getting to make your own choices, in a series defined by the choices of the player. I'm starting to think BioWare was just Telltale in disguise.
That's my joke! I'll kill you!
Yeah, GCN did kind of make that joke before, but Diaz, you were good enough to point that out. I'll point out that they beat you to the punch. That's good character, man. Good character.
That's my joke! I'll kill you!
I've tried introducing my father to Futurama, and he finds it funny from time to time, but he unfortunately does not like Zoidberg, I regret to say, but I digress.
You talk to the council about the Crucible, the Turian counselor gives you a lead, and you do some exploring around the Citadel for side missions and resources. And in this game, every single visit to the Citadel is a goddamn chore. Not only is it even worse to navigate than Mass Effect 1, but your means of obtaining side quests is extremely repetitive. In the first two games, the side quests were a bit buggy, but interesting. You got to interact with and communicate with different people and obtain information while customizing Shepard's personality. You got to explore the surface level of different planets and you were given a real sense of freedom. These side quests acted as little stories on the side that helped build your character and level up in the process. They were numerous but engaging interactions that provided the player with fun activities. But in Mass Effect 3, side quests amount to nothing but running around randomly while invading people's privacy, listening to them mention some random things, and then you have to go out into a system to scan and search for it. Now, a lot of people have gone into detail about how horrible and disorganized the side quests are in this game. The horrible scanning, getting chased by Reapers where there's no consequences for getting caught.
I disagree. There are consequences. Your ship gets destroyed and you die. Well, at least I know. I wish I could have seen a cool little space battle, but instead it's an instant die, and maybe that's what you were talking about. No visible consequences. I wish we could have seen the Reapers actually catch up and destroy us. That would have been nice. But yeah, in the first two games, eavesdropping consisted of you walk up to them, you hear the first part of their conversation, they stop, you walk away 10 feet, then come back 10 feet, you can hear part two, and then go back 10 feet, and then go forward 10 feet, hear part three, and rinse and repeat. The third game actually requires you to leave the entire floor before you come back to listen in on the rest of the conversation. That turns the entire eavesdropping quest into a chore indeed. And the first two games had the excellent idea to separate the main missions from the side quests, the assignments. Missions and assignments were on separate lists, separate categories. Unfortunately, the third game merges them together into one list, making it very disorganized, and I immediately hated it. Just another item oh man, I'm tripping over my tongue tonight. Another item added to the giant list of things I hated about Mass Effect 3.
It's not giving you information you need are in this game. The horrible scanning, getting chased by Reapers where there's no consequences for getting caught, the journal not giving you information you need to know where to go or what to find.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. The first two games not only kept it separate, the two mission types separately, but they told you specifically where to go. Here, I had to actually hunt for it, and that was really annoying. If you know where it is, tell me where it is. Don't send me on a wild goose chase.
And failing to keep track of your progress in each one. But it's not just bad in terms of gameplay. It makes the world of Mass Effect less interesting. There's no interesting exploration or investigation in any of these side quests. It's just eavesdropping, fly to a system, fetch an item, give it to an NPC, rinse and repeat 50 times. There's no variety to it, and it just makes the side quests feel monotonous. The side quests in the first two games were interesting because the player got to feel involved in this world. There was more to it than just going to a system and finding something. It was about being a part of this living, breathing world.
Yeah, unfortunately, at least half of all the side missions in Mass Effect 3 are nothing more than launch a probe, mission complete. You don't get to land. Several of these missions involve rescues of actual people. One of which is a Batarian governor who is a reformist among his people, a moderate. He wants to make peace between humans and Batarians and open his world back up to the rest of the galaxy. Unfortunately for him, his opinion was very unpopular among his people, and so he was not able to get anyone convinced. But now that the Reapers are invading and everybody needs to stand together, he now has sway in the government, and therefore rescuing him is an absolute priority. We need him alive.
Something. It was about being a part of this living, breathing world. You meet different people, learn about them, and you got to choose how to solve each problem you come across. It was a fantastic role-playing mechanic that made you want to explore the world. These side quests don't make you want to explore the world. The entire time you're doing them, you feel like they're being forced on you to increase your EMS.
The one tiny thing I loved about exploring space in Mass Effect 3 was the pinging. Not because it brought along the Reapers, but simply because I felt like Captain Marco Ramius ordering his men to quote-unquote one ping only. And yeah, but I didn't appreciate how we were always getting chased around, let alone by Sovereign-class Reapers. With those Thanix cannons, I'm pretty sure we could easily have defeated one of the Destroyer-class Reapers. But it seems like the Destroyer-class Reapers only get seen in during the main missions, and also in the third game. The ending, the epilogue of the second game, shows a vast different, a variety of different Reapers. They're all about the same size, or maybe a little bit smaller than Harbinger, but unique, but no Destroyer classes. This game, there's only two Reapers. There's the giant Sovereign class and the small Destroyers. Nothing more. Sad. Really sad.
There's no purpose behind these quests other than making numbers go up. And maybe it wouldn't have been so bad if it didn't extend to returning characters too. Side quests involving Miranda, Katsumi, Zaid, Balak, and several others feel completely wasted on horrible fetch quests. All of your interactions with returning characters are horribly rushed, and their quests amount to little more than running around the Citadel to find a point of interest. You don't even get to properly interact with them because the quests are over within minutes of starting them. What's the point of reuniting with Zaid and Katsumi if we hardly do anything with either of them? And after that, we have these really dumb nightmare scenes, where
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even Joe Biden said it in that Three Presidents Play Mass Effect video series. I agree with Joe Biden. Kasumi Goto should have been a romance option. Absolutely. Look at those lovely hips, and she's the only Asian girl in the entire trilogy. Oh yeah.
Do anything with either of them. And after that, we have these really dumb nightmare scenes.
I am so utterly thankful that some mod maker, I don't know who you are, but I got to kiss you. If you have a ring on your finger, I'd kiss it as a thank you for this, because you removed the stupid kid that nobody cared for, nobody liked. Is obviously a nobody that I'm not even allowed to say what I want to say at the moment. But basically, they replaced the kid with your latest victim, like Mordin Solus. Spoiler alert, after Tuchanka and Mordin Solus dies, you see Mordin Solus giving you a tour of the forest. And you're faced with your decision on Tuchanka. If you saved the Krogan and cured the genophage, you even get to see Little Grunt get married to a female Krogan. It's pretty sweet. I love it. Now I can stand the dreams. There's also a mod that completely removes the dreams, like what my friend Veyron has.
Where Shepard has a bad dream about the Star Child while slowly really dumb nightmare scenes. Where Shepard has a bad dream about the Star Child while slowly running around a dead forest. They try to make these scenes dramatic and ominous, but my question is why? Why do we have these in the game? Are they supposed to symbolize Shepard's guilt? Why are they so asphyxiated on a random kid they don't know? I wouldn't mind too much, except these nightmare scenes are painfully sluggish. You're forced to move in slow motion with no real sense of direction, and the game doesn't put enough effort in getting you immersed in these sequences. Maybe if they were just cutscenes it would be fine, but playing through them just feels boring. They don't add anything to the story, so being given control during these nightmare scenes just feels empty. You do hear whispers of fallen squadmates and friends, but they're not made into the focus of these nightmares. They're all about Shepard chasing after this random kid we have no connection with. It's completely pointless and feels like filler that could have easily been left out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Amen. Anyway, the Sidequests and Dreams is one of the shortest videos I have well, shortest pieces that I've had to cut up with. Anyway, take care, y'all.